as the Cowboys took on and destroyed the Commanders and Jaden Daniels. It is clear that offensively, with the fireworks they're putting on this season, that they have the most explosive offense in the NFL. In this game specifically, I mean, the Cowboys just did what they've been doing really all season. Offensively, Cee Dee Lamb came back this week. That's obviously huge for them to get your number one receiver back. And with the emergence of Pickens, I don't know what the hell the Commanders were supposed to do, and they didn't either. And it was just like Lattimore was out there getting abused. You got Cee Dee getting 75-yard touchdowns. We're about 20 yards away from the end zone. Him and Pickens are aura farming and using emotes and hitting celebrations and stuff. I mean, that offense was just absolutely dominant. Dak just wasn't missing any passes, and we'll get to what Dak has been doing. Javonte Williams, huge runs. He ran it for 116. And even as they were right before half, to me, that was the big one. Everyone kind of felt it. I felt it watching it, and the announcer said it. They scored a little too quick. When the score was 20-15, they go right down, like immediately, right after Lattimore, boom, bomb to Pickens. And then after that, these Javonte runs before half. He maybe they were trying to get a field goal. It felt again like the what game was it? The Jets game, where he took off for a big run. He almost scored on it, and this happened again. And that's what gave him touchdown range. It was him running the ball for 30 yards, like having that play pop on the 30-yard line. But everything was just on, and this offense just always is in attack mode, even without obviously Cee Dee the last couple of weeks. You got the quotes post game. Cee Dee saying this is the best offense he's ever played for. I don't disagree with that. One of the best offenses in the league right now, and I think it's the best Dak has been playing, and everything is just working right now for them. Now, Commanders defense sucks. They came in ranked 25th, I believe, in pass defense. Let me double check that so I don't give you guys missed stats. But they're very bad pass defense. They were low in points too. So this is what Dallas was supposed to do, and this is why I picked Dallas to win this game, because it's like my guy. I just saw no path for the Commanders being able to stop anything that they do, and they couldn't. They couldn't stop anything. But still, you got to go out there and you got to execute, and you have to actually put it on a team like that. They were 23rd in pass defense, allowing 235 games. 23rd it's pretty bad. It's not terrible, but it's not great. Points, they were 13th. They're higher than I thought, but 13th in points per game, only allowing 21. So that is more impressive. Maybe not the passing specifically, but just the efficiency of the offense, how quickly they were able to move. And I watched the game. This game was over. I mean, Jaden Daniels got hurt. This game was over in the third quarter. They didn't try to score in the fourth. They scored 41 points in the first 3 quarters of this game. Again, a lot like that Jets game. Like when they get we'll get to the defense, but if they can actually get the ball, right? Like if they can stop the run and get the ball, they are a very formidable team and one of the most explosive ones, because they can lose to anyone, but they can kind of beat any. I don't think they can lose to anyone at this point. You gotta have something on offense that gives you the ability to go out and win that game, whether it is we go down on the run game, or whether it is, I mean, I guess in the Bears case, they got receivers and Cee Dee got hurt. Eagles just have the best quarterback in the league, but go Birds. But I mean, my gosh. And shout out Brian Schottenheimer, too. This scheme has just been cooking. They haven't turned the ball over in 4 games. Like, they are in a flow state right now. We can get to some Dak stats. Here you go. 2nd in the league in yards, 2nd in touchdowns. Throughout the season, he's 16 pass touchdowns to 3 interceptions. In his last 4 games, he has 3 touchdowns and no picks. I don't know the exact stats, but I saw a bunch. Only these amount of people have done this. He really is having a historical stretch right now. I think the only thing, obviously, that concerns you about it is they need him to do this consistently. But I think there's another component too that's looked very well for the Cowboys. Their offensive line. And I look at both. I look at runs and sacks. Javonte has been up there. He's been toting all season. I think he's third in yards. As a team, they're 15th in yards. They mainly use Javonte, but I mean, they're getting about 115 a game, which is pretty good. Considering what they were doing last year, where they didn't have that effectiveness. And Jake Ferguson just gets touchdowns every game, no matter what. But as a team, third in points, and this is the big thing to me, and I think it's definitely makes. He's second in yards, Javonte Williams, tied for third in touchdowns with 600 yards rushing in 7 games, and 6 touchdowns. So he's been amazing. But what's been impressive, and I think it's definitely both. It's not just the O-line. Dak is doing it as well. He gets rid of the ball super duper quick. You saw against the Packers. I mean, that ball was out in like 1.0 seconds every time. But the offensive line, very good. Third in the league in sacks allowed, only allowing 1.2. That's been extremely impressive. The offense, I mean, I think specifically when they are inside as well, I don't know how you stop them. I mean, there's just you gotta scheme something up. But Dak has been out here calling audibles. He's been hot routing so far this year. Yeah, there's a lot. It's a tough unit to stop, especially because now Dak and Pickens are just completely on the same page. And Pickens is having a lot of fun out there. Way more fun, obviously, than he was having with the Steelers, even though he's number 2. I mean, him celebrating with Cee Dee, that was just something to see. So right now, I mean, this Cowboys offense, you got to say, if you had to play any team, any offense on a week-to-week basis, as great as the Colts offense is and as efficient as they are, and how the Lions offense, they can get you with the run game, even though we've seen them kind of slowly slide down. They really just want to blow you out more. The Cowboys just score, man, and they just can score in bunches because of all the skill talent on this team and how great Dak has been playing. Now the defense. They did their thing against the Commanders, but I've been fooled before by this defense and thinking they could just be below average and not the worst, one of the worst defenses in the league. Now, what they did to Jaden was they kind of got some pressure. What they really did to the Commanders, I'm going to be honest, was they stopped the run, and that was Commanders were a very good run team. Look up the numbers so I can get them to you guys. But they were a very good run team. Even though last week they had some fumble problems, they still were toting, and we've seen them really control games. They beat Atlanta just completely running the ball. That's what the 49ers did too, though. But hey, look, compare them to 49ers. Like we've seen the Commanders be able to run the ball, and so with that being the background, it's kind of like, all right, I expected the Commanders to be able to run the ball. Yeah, they were third in the league coming in and running, and they were basically tied with Atlanta and Buffalo, 151 rush yards per game in this game. And remember, the quarterbacks run a lot, so that definitely has an impact, like Jaden and Mariota be toting as well. They ended up with 136, 2 touchdowns, but it didn't feel like it. Jaden at 35, Mariota 34, but by the time Mariota, after he did what he did, throwing a terrible pass, that ended up being a big win, or a big lost my train of thought. But that ended up being some empty garbage time running the ball stats. When they tried to run the ball downhill, which is what the Commanders, they do like doing that. The Cowboys weren't letting it happen. So on this day, good job. I consider Bill Marsky-Croc, whatever his name is, their main running back. He had 13 rushes, 33 yards. Shamar James, and they made plays. The defense made plays. Shamar James with the strip forced fumble sack, and so that was huge. Like if they could make just a couple plays, it's really all they need to do. Get the ball back. That was big. And then you saw it at the end when Jaden left the field. The second Mariota came in. He was shook and he threw a pick. Deron Bland, a pick 6, taking us back to 2022. And that was it's just they were really good against Jaden. However, the Commanders didn't have any receivers. They didn't have Terry or Debo. And I can't give this defense too much credit because I've done it before, and then I watched them get shredded absolutely cooked by the Panthers, and then I watched the Panthers go and score 13. So I don't know. I watched the Packers have a great game. Russell Wilson at 40. So let's just, I gotta pump the brakes. Next week, and by the way, I think the Cowboys are alive as a playoff team because of how good this offense is. Now, it's tough because the NFC West is all sitting there at 5-2. You lost to the Panthers, who are 4-3, but honestly, that tie helps them out in that kind of situation. So tiebreakers are kind of irrelevant for them. The Bears are 4-2. They lost to all these teams. Yeah, that tie. Honestly, that tie could really help them out because they lost to the Bears, right? And they lost to the Panthers, and those are the teams that are now 4-3, 4-2. But you're looking, and you're like, now that you've beaten the Commanders and kind of got them a little bit out of the race, those are the teams you're looking at for that seventh spot, really, because the NFC West looks like they got 2 more on lock. Dang, and even then, no, because the Lions are the 7, and the Lions this is going to be tough. It's going to be really tough for them to make the playoffs. The NFC right now is loaded with very good teams, and next on their schedule, all you can do is control the controllables. They play the Broncos next. Just another one of those games, man. Broncos offense has been so bad, right? But the Cowboys defense is so bad. And the Broncos defense has been really good. And they're at home, so I'm interested in that one. Then they play the Cardinals and the Raiders. Those should be wins. Although the Brissett emergence is something to watch out for. Oh, you have a bye week, then Raiders. And then it gets tough. Eagles. But you get the Eagles at home. Eagles, 4 days later. Chiefs. 1 week after that, Lions. That's tough. I think for them to have a chance, they got to win this week against the Broncos because I just don't see them. I just think they're going to go 1-2 in that stretch. I think the Lions, Chiefs, and Eagles are just too complete. I mean, maybe you split against the Eagles because you already played them, but I just think that those 3 teams are all complete teams that can score on the defense and get a stop on the Cowboys, which means most teams are kind of balanced like that. Now the Broncos, I don't know if they can score, but Cowboys defense is so bad. Again, the Panthers just had 30. Panthers had 30 on the Falcons too. Still. So we will see going forward if this defense can improve at all. I think we kind of know what this offense is, but they have to continue to perform on a week-in, week-out basis. And we will see if the Cowboys can go out there and try to make a playoff run.